Shalom and welcome to my moment of Torah. This evening is Rosh Chodesh Elul, and it's hard to believe that this year has flown by and we have 1 month left until Rosh Hashanah. We're in the book of Devarim, Deuteronomy, and Moses is continuing to instruct the Israelites in the proper behavior once they settle in the land. And one of the things he says is, "You shall not behave the way we do here this day, everyone doing what they please." Doesn't this sound like a biblical version of a parent saying to a child, "Now you're not going to act this way at Grandma's house, are you?" And as I wrote this, I distinctly remembered my kids fighting in the back of the car in Florida and saying those words. My son's reply was, "No, that's why we're behaving that way now." Ba-dum-bum. I wonder if that was the Israelites' retort to Moses. Now in this week's Torah reading, Re'eh, Moses, again, is continuing to instruct the Israelites in God's laws, telling them, "See, Re'eh, I have put before you today blessing and curse. Blessing if you obey God's commandments, and curse if you do not obey them, but turn away and follow other gods." Many of the commandments enumerated in the Torah were observed as the Israelites were in the wilderness, but many can only be observed in the physical land of Israel. And this is what Moses is speaking about. Now, if we were to take this one verse out of context, we might think Moses was saying, "Okay, Israelites, I've been letting things slide in the wilderness, but when we enter the promised land, you better shape up and cut out all the idol worship and stuff." But in the context of the reading, Moses is telling the Israelites that they will only be able to offer certain kinds of animal sacrifices in a particular place that God will choose, not anywhere they will choose. Now, certain animals, such as the first of the flock or the herd, are set aside as sacrifice. Also, animals brought for a sacrifice to fulfill a vow, atone for transgression, or for thanksgiving. However, hearkening back to Genesis, following the flood, Moses reminds the people that God has given them permission to eat meat whenever they desire, but to spill out and not consume the blood. And there are other limitations enumerated in the laws of kashrut. The Torah tells us which animals may and may not be eaten, how they should be treated and slaughtered, and that meat is considered to be a luxury food, something for special occasions. Many people will argue that humans were meant to be vegetarians because when Adam was created, God said, "See, I give you every seed-bearing plant that is upon all the earth, and every tree that has seed-bearing fruit. They shall be yours for food." It's clear from all of the laws concerning sacrificial offerings, who can and can't eat them, how long leftovers can be kept, and so on, that we eat meat with God's permission, but place limits on consumption to show respect and reverence for the animal's life. Rav Avraham Yitzchak HaKohen Kook, former chief rabbi of Palestine, he died in 1935 before the State of Israel, said, "All the laws and restrictions serve to raise the consciousness of Jews, to get them to think about what they are eating, and to decide if the fare meets religious requirements." He believed that in Messianic times, sacrificial offerings would be of vegetation. And to show that this time had not yet come, he would eat a small amount of chicken on Shabbat. Now, since we're not in Messianic times, and since so far no one has come out with a terrific plant-based pastrami sandwich or barbecued short ribs, I'll continue eating meat, and I'll continue to be mindful of my choices. God wants us to rejoice and be happy, to share our good fortune, and to prosper. But by limiting meat consumption, the laws of kashrut remind us to pay attention to what we choose to eat. As we enter the month of Elul, where we begin the process of preparing for the Yamim Noraim of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, may we eat our food mindfully. May we be aware of our consumption, and may we pay attention to how our lifestyles and eating habits serve us. And if they don't, may we be blessed with the ability to make the changes we need to make. Shabbat Shalom, Chodesh Elul Tov.